Right now, someone is influencing you, and you don't even realize it. Your phone, the ads you skip, the videos you click, the people you trust, even the opinions you think are your own. Most of them were planted there deliberately. You believe you're in control, but science says otherwise. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how powerful people, companies, and systems quietly control human behavior. And once you understand this, you'll never look at decisions the same way again. You believe you are an independent thinker. You believe your decisions are logical, personal, and fully under your control. You believe when you say yes, it's because you want to. But what if most of your decisions were never really yours to begin with? What if there were invisible psychological triggers pulling your strings every single day? At the supermarket, on social media, in relationships, at work, and even while watching this video. Robert Cialdini spent decades studying one terrifying truth. Human beings are predictable, programmable, and influenceable. And once you understand how influence works, you will never see the world the same way again. The human brain is not designed to analyze everything deeply. If it did, we would be mentally exhausted within minutes. Instead, the brain relies on shortcuts, automatic responses that save energy. These shortcuts usually help us survive, but they also make us dangerously easy to manipulate. Cialdini discovered that influence doesn't work through intelligence or logic, it works through instinct. And the scariest part? The smarter you think you are, the more vulnerable you become, because you don't believe you can be controlled. Let's start with the first and most powerful weapon of influence: reciprocity. Humans are wired to repay what they receive. When someone gives us something, even if we didn't ask for it, an internal pressure builds inside us to give something back. This is not culture, this is biology. That's why free samples exist. That's why salespeople offer just a small favor. That's why charities give you a pen before asking for a donation. The gift is not kindness, it's a psychological hook. Once you accept it, your brain feels indebted, and you are far more likely to say yes, even when saying no would be the rational choice.
This is why companies don't start by selling. They start by giving a free trial, a free ebook, a free consultation. Once you receive value, your mind subconsciously shifts from "do I want this" to "I should give something back." And the terrifying part is that this mechanism works even when we know it's happening. Awareness does not cancel instinct. Influence operates below consciousness. The second principle is commitment and consistency. Humans have a deep desire to appear consistent with others and with themselves. Once you take a small stand, your brain rewrites your identity around it. That's why manipulators never ask for something big at first. They ask for something small, a click, a comment, a harmless agreement. Because once you commit publicly, your future decisions are no longer free. They must match the version of yourself you've already shown to the world. This is why scams escalate slowly. This is why cults don't begin with extreme beliefs. This is why people stay in toxic relationships longer than they should. Your past commitments trap your future self, and the more effort you put into a decision, the harder it becomes to admit it was wrong. Consistency feels safe. Change feels like failure. Influence exploits that fear. Then comes social proof, the idea that if everyone else is doing something, it must be correct. Humans evolved in tribes. Being wrong alone meant death. Being wrong together felt safe. Even today, your brain still uses other people as evidence of truth. Likes, views, reviews, crowd reactions, bestseller lists, viral trends. None of these prove quality. They only prove popularity. But your brain treats popularity as proof. This is why fake reviews work. This is why people follow crowds during emergencies. This is why trends spread faster than logic. When uncertainty rises, social proof becomes dominant. And in the digital age, social proof can be manufactured. bots, paid engagement, artificial hype. Once people see others believing, they stop questioning. Influence doesn't require truth, it only requires agreement. Next comes liking. People are more easily influenced by those they like. That sounds obvious, but liking itself is programmable. We like people who are attractive, similar to us, who compliment us, or who appear familiar. This is why influencers feel relatable. This is why salespeople mirror your behavior. This is why manipulators build emotional connection before asking for anything. Once you like someone, your critical thinking weakens. You don't evaluate their arguments, you trust them.
And here's the dangerous part. We often confuse liking with credibility. A confident voice, a friendly smile, a shared struggle. None of these guarantee honesty, but your brain treats them as signals of safety. Influence thrives where comfort replaces skepticism. Then there is authority, perhaps the most dangerous of all. Humans are conditioned to obey authority figures, even when authority is fake. A uniform, a title, a confident tone, a professional setting. These symbols override logic. Cialdini's research showed that people obey commands not because they are correct, but because they appear legitimate. History is full of disasters caused not by evil people, but by obedient ones. In modern society, authority wears new clothes: blue check marks, credentials, job titles, followers. People stop asking, "Is this right?" and start asking, "Who said it?" And once authority speaks, doubt feels rebellious. Influence doesn't silence your mind, it convinces you not to use it. The final principle is scarcity. Humans desire what they believe they might lose. Scarcity creates urgency. Urgency kills logic. Limited time offers, only a few spots left. This deal expires tonight. Scarcity doesn't increase value, it increases fear. And fear makes people act fast, before thinking. Your brain evolved to respond to loss more strongly than gain. Losing feels twice as painful as winning feels good. That's why scarcity works so powerfully. The moment something feels rare or disappearing, your mind assigns it exaggerated importance. Influence doesn't need to convince you something is good, it only needs to convince you it won't be available later. Now here's the most important truth Cialdini reveals. Influence is not evil, it's neutral, it's a tool. The same principles used to manipulate can also be used ethically, to educate, motivate, and protect. The danger is not influence itself, the danger is ignorance. When you don't understand these forces, you don't resist them, you obey them. Once you see these principles, you start noticing them everywhere, in ads, in politics, in social media, in friendships, in your own decisions. And that awareness creates power, not over others, but over yourself. Because the moment you slow down, question urgency, separate popularity from truth, and detach your identity from past commitments, influence loses its grip. This book is not about becoming manipulative, it's about becoming immune. It's about understanding the psychological games being played around you every single day so you can choose consciously instead of reacting automatically. Because freedom is not the absence of influence. Freedom is knowing when you are being influenced and deciding anyway. And if you want to win in business, leadership, or life, you must understand one brutal reality. People don't act based on logic, they act based on psychology. Master that, and you don't need force, you don't need pressure, you don't need luck. You understand the invisible rules that already control the world. If this video changed the way you think, then you already felt the power of influence, used the right way. Like this video, subscribe for more deep psychological breakdowns, and hit the notification bell. Comment below which influence principle shocked you the most, and how will you use it to protect yourself. Because once you see influence clearly, you can never be controlled the same way again.